this is a strange, weird, bizarre day for different reasons because it's CBA day. Usually we run the other way when there's an occasion to talk about labor discussions, but we got no choice. They're forcing us today, Big Cat, because the NFL has put the ball on the tee and has said to the Players Association, it's time for you to kick it. And the statement that the NFL issued yesterday was beautiful. PR masterpiece. Because if a deal doesn't get done, it's not the NFL's fault. It's the players' fault.
Okay, hold on. Wait. Back up. You saying you run away from CBA talk? I'll quote the all-time coach, Mike Ditka, when I say, who you crapping, okay? That's crazy. No, you love to talk about the CBA.
Let me be more specific. I am forced by coordinating producer Matt Casey to run away from CBA talk. I will suggest for inclusion into the outline, and he will respond either with an emoji of a middle finger or something else telling me that, no, we're not going to jam that into the show. But today it's front and center because we're on the cusp or not of a new CBA. And look, what the NFL did yesterday was a boss move. They convened all the owners and they officially ratified the proposal that has been generated by months of negotiation. That's the one important point that people need to realize as we go through the course of Friday and wait for the NFLPA to say something in response to the NFL's current proposal. This is not the first offer. This is the product of nearly a year of negotiation, and the negotiating teams for both the league and the union decided this is good enough to take back to our clients. Well, the NFL clients have said, we'll take it. Now the question is, will the NFLPA clients take it? And let's go over some of the big terms here. Assuming that the NFLPA ultimately, before March 18, when the new league year begins, will accept this deal. One key point we didn't mention last hour. Most player discipline will now be handled by a neutral party. That is a key concession. Now, we don't have the details yet, Big Cat, but that could mean personal conduct policy. No longer will the commissioner be judge, jury, and executioner. That is a power that he had been clinging to for years. That is a huge, huge win for the players. Doesn't cost the owners any money, but it's a huge win for the players if they can finally get that power away from the commissioner.
Okay, so I see all this stuff. I understand it after the first hour. We'll recap real quick. So as far as I understand, the CBA, the NFL has put this out there for the players to basically get this signed before March 18th. If it doesn't happen, we're going to do this song and dance next year. But from everything you've read and everything you've seen, and you are a lawyer, you think that this will more likely than not be signed before March 18th, and we won't even have to sniff an idea of a work stoppage come a year and a half from now, which is great for all football fans. So I threw this at you, like, what is the major hiccup here? What is the spot that you're going to look at and you're going to say, this might be where we falter? This might be where the players say, absolutely not, we're not doing this. Like, rip it up. We'll try again next year. Where is that so people can know?
Well, and let me just back up a step and address your point on whether or not I think this is going to get done. Over the weekend, I had multiple phone conversations that led me to believe this is moving toward getting done. And everything that's happened this week has continued to push toward this sense that it's going to get done. And what the NFL did yesterday created an overwhelming notion that this is moving toward its final phases. And I was stunned last night to see J.J. Watt take to Twitter and say hard no on the CBA proposal. Richard Sherman, who is a member of the executive committee, coming out against it. I don't know what's going to happen today. And my impression had been the executive committee is fine with it. If it would ever get to a vote for the full rank and file, 50% of 1,900 dues-paying members plus one, that would get through. It's the Board of Player Representatives, and they're required to endorse it by 2/3. 22 of 32 have to say yes before it even goes to a vote of all players. That's where I feel like the biggest resistance is. And 17 games, Big Cat, continues to be a sticking point, even though it's inevitable that the owners are going to get their 17 games and in time probably 18 games. That's where a lot of the pushback is coming from. The players don't want 17 games. And I think maybe as they get farther away from the end of the season where they feel like their bodies have been beaten to a pulp and they recover, maybe they're less inclined to say hell no to 17 games. But I still feel like that's the core of the concern. There are players who want nothing to do with 17 games, even though I feel like it's inevitable we're going to have 17.
Now, is this the time that you want me to unveil my perfect NFL schedule that I have been, parading around the country now like a politician? Do you want me to do it now, or are we going to do it later?
Sure, go ahead.
All right, I'll give you my perfect NFL schedule because, like you said, 17 games is inevitable. 2 bye weeks, I think, can be done. And here's how it can be done. Stop shaking your head, Mike Florio. I'm going to take you to school.
You do that to me all the time.
I'm going to take you to school. Listen. Here's how my schedule works.
Listen, one thing I learned watching the debate the other night, you're always on camera when someone else is ripping you, and it is better to shake your head than to look like a deer in the headlights.
Okay,
I learned that the other night.
Fine,
go ahead.
Fair. All right, 17 games, 19 weeks, 2 byes. This is easy, Mike. You have the regular bye that rotates, that everyone knows about. So you have 2 to 4 teams taking a bye during the season. That's fine because your main criticism is that with 2 byes, you will have too many weeks where there's bad teams playing, not enough, marquee matchups. Now, here's where the second bye comes in, Mike. The week of Christmas. The closest game to December 25th. There's no NFL. And you're probably saying to yourself, what? How could that be, Big Cat? That's going to be terrible. Well, guess what there is? There's NBA. There's college bowl games. We could, when the college bowl playoffs gets to 8 games, do you know what we can do on that Sunday? We can play the first round of the playoffs. Do you know what will be open? All the NFL stadiums across the country that we can play those games in. So we will have December, the closest Sunday to Christmas, off. No NFL. You can fill up with bowl games. We'll make sure we schedule extra bowl games on that Sunday so no one loses that feeling of, wow, I'm waking up for football on Sunday. Now, Mike, here's the beauty of it, okay? After the second bye that the whole league takes, and by the way, may I mention, this is just a little help for Roger Goodell. Football is family. What other league gives their entire league off for Christmas? Oh, yeah, that's the NFL. They care. PR win. Boom. Then, after the Christmas break, so to speak, you have 4 weeks left of the season. You play the New Year's, or it might be 3 weeks, whatever the math works out. You play basically the regular season until middle of January. Then you got the playoffs. The end of January starts, the second last week of January is the wild card game. End of January is divisional round. First week of February is the championship round. You take a bye, you let the NBA have their All-Star game, then you have the Super Bowl on the third week of February. Guess what happens after that, Mike? President's Day, the Monday after Super Bowl Sunday. We now have the Monday after Super Bowl Sunday off. I just fixed the entire NFL schedule. And let me throw an extra thing on top, Mike. I'm on a roll. 17 games. It feels weird, right? Because you have the perfect setup right now with the NFL schedule where you play a different division every single year, all 4 teams. You know what we do with that 17th game, Mike? We make cross-conference rivalries based on geography. The Chicago Bears should play the Indianapolis Colts every year. You have said this. The Tennessee Titans should play the Atlanta Falcons every single year. They're 3 hours apart. The Redskins and the Ravens should play. The Raiders, who are going to be in Vegas, should play the 49ers. We should have the Eagles and the Steelers every single year. The Chiefs and the Packers can play. Super Bowl I. The Browns and the Lions. I could go on and on and on. I have just fixed all of the NFL's problems. Thank you, Mike. I will take a bow.
Okay, here's the problem with the geographic rivalries. Those teams play each other once every 4 years anyway. So what?
And
do
then you
the
play twice because there's a rivalry now,
twice?
Mike. Yes, you play them twice every 4 years. There's a rivalry.
Jets-Giants play twice every 4 years. They play every year once.
Yes.
And they play twice every 4 years.
You don't think fans of those teams don't want to see that? Think about also the geography. You can make rivalries out of the fact that some of these cities are 2 or 3 hours apart and they never play. They play once every 4 years. People would come out and watch the Steelers and the Eagles play every single year. That would be an exciting rivalry. And then every 4th year, you do have the 2 games. So, I fixed it all. I fixed it all.
All right, let me back up a step. I love the idea of shutting football down for Christmas weekend, whenever that Sunday is closest to Christmas. I love it. Now, it gets a little weird if Christmas is in the middle of the week. Which week do you shut down? Here's the problem. Because you've ultimately constructed a schedule that ends where the NFL wants it to end, and that is President's Day weekend. But They are determined to get to 18 games. And it doesn't fit if you go 18. It doesn't fit if you go 18.
It does.
If
Mike,
you take
my God.
if you shut down, unless you take away the bye between the conference championships and the Super Bowl, it doesn't fit if you start shutting down a week for Christmas. You can't fit in 18 games in a bye week.
Yes, you can, Mike. You can start on Labor Day every single year.
They won't do it. They'll never do it.
Yes.
They'll never do it. They'll never do it. They've done it. They don't do it. No. Look, remember, I never lost a case I won. They will never play on Labor Day. The ratings are horrible on Labor Day. They abdicated Labor Day weekend years ago because people aren't home to watch football on Labor Day weekend. It's that simple.
Okay, Mike, then get rid of the bye week between Super Bowl and championship week. It's stupid anyway. It makes no sense anyway.
There's a lot to do. There's a lot for these teams to get together in 1 week. I like the idea. If they were going to stay at 17 games forever, I like the idea of shutting down around Christmas time and getting it to President's Day. But they're determined to go to 18. There are owners who want to go to 18 now. Jerry Jones wants 18 now.
But you're saying they're going to go to 18 and not give a second bye? That's absolutely insane. I've solved this.
18.
I fixed it.
8. All right.
I fixed everything. Look,
okay.
It says it right there. I fixed everything. That's a quote.
That's
People
your quote.
are talking about it now. I fixed everything.
All right. So much for having a meaningful discussion of the actual terms of the offer that is pending, but we already did that, and it's going to re-air in an hour. You'll hear it again. This is good. This is creative. I like this. It gives us something to think about, gives us something to talk about, a little something to laugh about. But I like the creativity. I just really think that it's 17 with a bye. It's going to be 18 with a bye, and it is going to be Super Bowl on President's Day weekend at some point, say maybe 10 years from now.
Mike, do you know what you are? You are an energy vampire. When people have good ideas, when people are trying to be up, you just suck that energy right out of them. You're an energy vampire. I was riding high, and then you poo-poo it with your 18-game schedule thing. I still think it works. I still think that the NFL gets a PR win because you cannot, if you're the NFL, this is serious now, and I mean, my idea is serious as well because it works, and it's genius because I'm a genius. But Mike, you cannot have all the health issues that have come to the NFL come their way the last decade and a half, and then say we got to play 2 more games and not give them an extra bye. You can't do that. That is a PR nightmare, in my opinion. This is where it works, where you say we're going to give them the extra bye, and it's going to be Christmas week, and everyone gets to spend time with their family, and football is family, and they do a whole commercial. I'll write the commercials for them. I don't care. I'll do it. I just want the Monday after Super Bowl to be off every single year.
Like we would be off anyway. Like it really matters for us. Why are we
I'm
fighting
here for the people, Mike.
Work?
I'm not fighting for myself. I'm fighting for the people. That's why you know it works because it's not even motivated by like my own selfish interests. I want the people to enjoy the day off.
Here's the other thing too. Other than the schools being shut down and the banks and the post office, I don't think anybody else is off on President's Day. Are they?
I don't know.
The world doesn't shut down. It's not like Christmas.
We got it off for the first time in the history that I've been working at Barstool for a decade. We got it the first time this year, and I think it was an accident. Like, I don't think that they realized that they gave it to us all.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.